Shocked at the property tax estimate you got in the mail in recent days? I was too. As vice chair of the Minnesota House Taxes Committee, I decided it was time to go to the whiteboard and break down what's going on. A big part of the reason that property taxes are spiking this year is because of action taken by the federal government in Washington, D.C. This past summer, President Trump and the Republican-controlled Congress passed the One Big Bill. One of the top goals of that bill was to send tax cuts to giant corporations and to billionaires. For example, the lowest income earners under the One Big Bill stand to lose about $1,200 a year, while the top earners in this country stand to gain about $13,000 a year. Now, the federal government didn't replace all of the money they sent out to the giant corporations and the billionaires, but they did try to recover some. And one of the ways that they did that is by going after the types of programs that working class Americans depend on, like SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps. Here in Minnesota, your local county is in charge of administering SNAP benefits. The One Big Bill does three things that creates a budget shortfall for your county. First, the federal government cut the portion of administrative costs for SNAP that it covers. Second, it, for the first time, is requiring the counties to pay part of the SNAP benefits themselves. So the federal government is essentially taking money from your local county and bringing it up to the federal government to help pay for these giant tax cuts. The federal government also put in new rules that the counties have to comply with for administering the SNAP program. This creates a huge paperwork burden on the counties and essentially requires them to hire a lot more workers to do the exact same amount of work. So what are the counties supposed to do with this giant budget shortfall they now find themselves in? Well, they really only have one choice, and that is to raise property taxes on you, the property taxpayer. For example, here in Anoka County, property taxes are about to go up 4% just because of these changes related to SNAP benefits. In Ramsey County, it's estimated to be about 4.82%. And it's the same case all across the state. So when you get that giant property tax bill, don't blame your local county commissioner. Remember that the big challenge was caused by the actions of President Trump and the Republican-controlled Congress. In the coming days, I'll be back to break down some of the actions my colleagues and I are taking right here in Minnesota to try to keep your property tax bill from going even higher.